What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Alex. Welcome to Alex Sports Talk and Bets. And we gotta talk about the New York Knicks. Man, the New York Knicks are becoming an embarrassment again, and it hurts my heart because I'm 34 years old, guys. The Knicks have been trash for the vast majority of my existence, okay? When I was in elementary school, we were great, all throughout the 90s and even the very, very early 2000s. We made that run to the finals in 2000. But for the vast majority of the last 22 years, I'll say, we've been trash. Garbage with like one or maybe two playoff appearances mixed in. So I have been thoroughly enjoying the last 4 years where the Knicks have made the playoffs 3 times and advanced past the first round 3 of those times. Well, actually, they made it 4 of the last 5 years, but you get my point. We've had success since Tom Thibodeau has been here. It's been sustained success, and every year the team got better. And I remember a quote from Chris Rock, and I agree with it 1,000%. All right? And that quote was, right now, I'm not even worried about winning a championship. I'm just happy to be good. Let's be a good competitive team for a while. Let's beat some people. Let's make some runs. And we can worry about the championship later. We don't got to rush. Let's just enjoy being good. We're relevant again. But the New York Knicks couldn't do that. I've been saying since the beginning of this season, when all the noise started, you guys want to listen to the media. Oh, Thibodeau plays his players too many minutes. He runs them into the ground and they don't have nothing left for the playoffs and blah, blah, blah. And I've consistently said, are there flaws with Thibodeau? Yes. Is he perfect? No. But Thibodeau is a coach of the year several times. And if you're going to fire him, you have to know whoever you hire has a better resume and is a for sure shot fire better coach than Tom Thibodeau is. And right now, I don't see anyone available who you can unequivocally say is better than Tom Thibodeau. And the Knicks, once again, improved on themselves. All right, they made that run with Julius Randle and R.J. Barrett and Obi Toppin and Emmanuel Quickly and Derrick Rose, and they lost in the first round of the playoffs. Then they got Jalen Brunson. They made the playoffs. They beat the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they lost in the second round to the Miami Heat. Then they come back last year, and they beat the Philadelphia 76ers, and they played Game 7 with the Pacers, and they lose in the second round. Then they come back this year after getting rid of Julius Randle and getting rid of Dante DiVincenzo and bringing in Karl Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges, who you say traded 5 picks for, which I was fine with because the Knicks are not going to be sorry anytime soon. So those picks, this is not the NFL. The likelihood those picks will be good is slim to none. So I was okay with making that move to win now. And you are 6 games away from a championship. You go past the second round into the Eastern Conference Finals, take the Pacers to 6, and then you lose again. Okay, we just need some more depth and run it back. No, you want to fire Thibodeau. You want to listen to the media and half of the fan base because the fan base was always divided on firing Thibodeau. And you fire Thibodeau, and guess what happens? The same thing I said was going to happen. You realize quickly 2 things. Number 1, there are not any coaches available that are unequivocally better and can take this team further than Tom Thibodeau. And number 2, because you fired Tom Thibodeau, despite the fact that this team has improved every single year under his tutelage, despite the fact that he was 6 games from a championship. So anyone who takes the New York Knicks job, you got to realize they aren't stupid and they know it's a win-now job. If you don't win a championship in the next 2 to 3 years, you're fired. There's 0 job security with the New York Knicks right now. And everybody knows that. And it's New York on top of that. So you got to deal with the New York media who's going to be on your ass, especially because half the fan base never wanted to get rid of Tom Thibodeau. So naturally, like I knew they would, they are having a hard time hiring a coach. Now, there are 2 coaches that you could have hired that are available that I would have said are probably an upgrade to Tom Thibodeau, or at least you could argue that they are, even though they don't have as many coaches of the year awards, but they both have championships, and that's Nick Nurse and that's Mike Malone. As far as I know, I don't know that Nick Nurse wants to come back to coaching, and Mike Malone has no interest in the New York Knicks job. You have to know, in my opinion, that one of those 2 are going to take this job before you fire Thibodeau. But the Knicks, listening to the media, listening to half the fan base, fired Thibodeau with no real plan. Now we're sitting here, and it's about to be July. And despite the fact that the East is wide open, because the Knicks, Boston doesn't have Jason Tatum anymore. He tore his Achilles. And the Knicks were beating the Celtics before that even happened, but he tore his Achilles. Porzingis is gone. Drew Holiday is gone. Boston's not going to make any real noise next year. Tyrese Halliburton tore his Achilles. The Pacers aren't going to make any noise next year. So it's wide open. The Knicks are by far the most talented team in the East right now. Had you kept Tom Thibodeau, you would be in the perfect position to make a run to the championship. I don't want to hear about the Cavaliers. The Knicks have just beat the Cavaliers not even 3 years ago in the playoffs with pretty much the exact same team that the Cavaliers have now. The Cavaliers have added like Hunter. The Knicks have added Cat and Mikal. I don't think that, Donovan Mitchell has never beaten Jalen Brunson in a playoff series. Even when you go back to when Brunson was with Dallas and Donovan Mitchell was with the Giants. So no, I don't think the Cavs are a threat. Okay? The Bucks are done. Damian Lillard tore his ACL. They're done. The Detroit Pistons aren't ready. The Orlando Magic are not ready. So it's wide open. Philly can't get their chemistry right. Embiid can't stay healthy. It's wide open, and you don't even have a coach. You're in no position to take advantage of this. You don't even have a coach. You didn't even give this new core 2 years to make a run before you decided to blow it up. When they were 6 games away from a championship. You don't even have a plan now. You don't even know who you want to hire. If you're going to fire Thibodeau, you got to know who you want to hire. The fact that the Knicks had no plan on who they want to hire is embarrassing and ridiculous. They're out here, hey, can I interview your coach? Hey, can I interview your coach, Dallas? Can I take Jason Kidd from you? Hey, can I interview your coach, Rockets? Can I take Emi Udoka from you? Hey, can I interview your coach, Bulls? Can I take Billy Donovan from you? Why would you even want to? Like, this is ridiculous. Do you know what this is the equivalent of? This is the equivalent of walking around asking somebody if you can sleep with their girl. Hey, you got a pretty girl right there. You mind if I borrow her real quick? Hey, your girl's beautiful. She thick. You mind if I borrow her real quick? Hey, you planning on leaving your girl anytime soon? As if someone's just going to say, yeah, sleep with my chick, Knicks. Cuck me. I'm fine being a cuck. No one's going to say that. Now, it's gotten so ridiculous that you've went all the way down to saying, let's see if we can hire Dawn Staley. And do not get me wrong. I mean, no disrespect to Dawn Staley, right? If there was going to be any woman who was going to be the first woman to be a head coach of a basketball team, if it wasn't going to be Becky Hammon, then Dawn Staley would be the next choice. All the credentials are there, and I think she could do a good job. But here's the thing. This is not the situation to put the first ever female head coach in. Let her go somewhere with no expectations, right? If you're going to hire the first female head coach, that way she gets some time to build a team, gain respect, insert her culture, and make a real run at it. You don't insert a first female head coach into a win-now team. Number 2, why the hell would Dawn Staley want to be the head coach of the New York Knicks when she makes as much money coaching South Carolina as she would coaching the New York Knicks, and she has the ultimate job security with South Carolina? They'll never fire her over there, at least no time soon. She has another decade there making that money. She comes to the Knicks, and they lose in the first round, she might get fired in a year. Why would anyone take that job? Why would anyone take that job? Now, we've resorted so far as to interviewing Mike Brown, who we just fired when we had Carmelo Anthony and Jason Kidd in them. The Knicks had just stopped being an embarrassment. I couldn't even get 5 straight years of competitive, relevant play before they immediately went back to being stupid and embarrassing. I don't understand what went wrong. They were doing so great. Leon Rose, Worldwide West. James Dolan, I hadn't even heard his name, which is a great thing. They were doing so good, and now we're right back to being retarded. I don't get it. We have been irrelevant for 20 years. What is the rush to win the championship? I hate the Indiana Pacers. With a passion. With a passion. But what is the rush to win a championship? You're talking about, Thibodeau doesn't use his bench. What bench? Listen, if there was anything I was going to knock Thibodeau for, it's when they had Obi Toppin and when they had Emmanuel Quickly. Even when we had Quentin Grimes, you had all these young kids. All these kids are, outside of Emmanuel Quickly, all these kids are still coming off of the bench. All of them. So, really, you could have just kept them, and that could have been your bench now. But you got rid of them because you didn't want to play them. You didn't want to develop them. Okay, that's fine. But my thing is this. We didn't have a bench last year. Yeah, Deuce McBride. You know, I mean, Landry Salmon is solid, but come on, y'all. DeLon Wright is okay, but come on, y'all. Campaign is okay, but come on, y'all. Besides Deuce McBride and Precious Achiuwa, who I think should have played a lot more than he did, the Knicks didn't have a good bench. Let's not kid ourselves like they did. They did not. So maybe if you actually got Thibodeau some bench players, he'd play them. Or maybe he wouldn't. I mean, you know, who knows? But the thing is, now you don't have a coach. This team didn't even have 2 years to build on their chemistry. Then people are going to be like, well, there's players on the team who didn't want the coach, you know, there anymore. The players want the coach to be gone. I don't give a damn what the players want. I'm a Packers fan. One of the reasons the Packers have had sustained success is because they do what's best for the team. They don't give a damn what the players say. They don't give a damn what the fans say. They don't give a damn what the media says. Every year, the Green Bay Packers make a move that everyone says is stupid. And every year, they're in the playoffs making a run. Every year. This is how you sustain success. The reality is the media is dumb. The reality is most fans are dumb. You fired Thibodeau, and what did the media and the fans, who are the main ones pushing for you to fire Thibodeau, do? Make fun of you for firing Thibodeau. It's like when your girl keeps nagging you about something, like a little gnat, and then you finally do it, and it doesn't work, and you look at her and she goes, well, why did you listen to me? That's the media and the fans. That's what they're doing right now. They told you to fire the man, you fired him, now you can't find anyone better, and they're like, well, why did you listen to me? Now they're calling you stupid for that. That's why you don't listen to them. The Packers just got rid of Jair Alexander. Everyone's going to say it's dumb. Everyone's going to say now you have no secondary. They'll still be one of, if not the best team in the NFC North. They'll make the playoffs. They'll make a run. Because they get rid of players and they make moves before people realize it needs to be a thing. And they don't do it based upon what people are telling them to do. Everyone thought it was dumb when they got rid of Aaron Rodgers. I personally thought they held on to him too long. When they lost to the 49ers in a game where the defense didn't even give up a touchdown, they should have got rid of him then. But they waited a year and got rid of him after that. Everyone said they were crazy. And they made the playoffs and won a playoff game that same year. What did the Jets do? Nothing. What did they do last year? Nothing again. Now he's in Pittsburgh. That's how you run a team. You don't run a team being reactionary, listening to fans in the media who don't know what they're talking about. The media's job is to get clicks. The fans' job is to watch the game and cheer. They don't know what they're talking about. And now you've listened to them, and now they got you in position to be a laughing stock again. Do you guys realize, I just want to close the video saying this. Do you guys realize it's going to be July in 2 days? In 2 days. The NBA season starts at the end of October. That means the new season is about to start in 4 months, and we don't even have a coach. We don't even have a coach. We haven't even started to instill a culture or anything. We don't even have an identity yet. And the new season starts in 4 months. This is embarrassing and it's ridiculous. And I really thought we were past this as a franchise. I really did. I thought we were going back to the 90s where we were going to be in the mix every year. We were going to make a run. Eventually we get to the finals. That's all you had to do is just sit, be patient. But nope, you got to go and try and make a move. So at this point, I have no idea who the Knicks coach is going to be. I have no idea. I've never seen anything like this. I mean, you fired Thibodeau. It's been like a month and you still don't have another coach. You don't even have an idea of who your coach is going to be. I've never seen anything like this. Right back to being an embarrassment. I couldn't even have 5 years. I waited 20 years to be relevant again, and it didn't even last 5 years. Absolutely unbelievable. Either way, y'all, that's my thoughts on that. This team is going back to being an embarrassment. I can only hope that whoever they hire, because at this point, I think they're just going to have to put some Joe Schmo up there at this point. I can only hope the team should be talented enough to at least still be competitive pretty much no matter who the coach is. But we can't even focus on free agency or trades right now because we don't have a coach. I am Alex and I am out, y'all. Peace.